Hey guys, welcome back to our Liberty House. My name's Beth and I'm here to film for you today a really exciting garden tour of our front yard vegetable garden. And I was thinking about this, I think this is the first garden tour I'm doing since we moved into our new house. If you are new here, we moved, gosh, a little over a year ago. It's crazy to think about. We moved and we had to start our new garden from scratch. So it's been a year of a lot of just chaos, to be honest. We did a full house remodel, and then of course remodeling, we ripped out the entire front yard, put in, I don't know how many raised beds here, we put in some arched trellises, and behind me we'll talk about this like pollinator garden that we put in as well to just support the vegetable garden that we have growing. And of course during this tour I'll show you what we have growing right now, what's been good, what hasn't been good, and maybe I'll talk about some of the future things, because of course gardens are just, you continue to add on to them and add on to them. So here we are, we have my baby Nora with us in the garden this morning, and I'm out here because it is middle of August, and we're located here in Sacramento County, and it's Zone 9B, and it's been really flipping hot here. I think this last week we've been hitting the triple digits. It's actually been a relatively mild year overall, but the last week definitely has been feeling extra summery with the heat of the summer. So let me turn this camera around and show you what we got going on. So here's the garden, if you guys haven't seen it yet. We installed 8 different raised beds. These are the Birdie Beds that we decided to do at this property. Our last property, if you remember, we built all of our garden beds, and with a toddler and a full house remodel, we just didn't have time for that. And these Birdie Beds actually have been really nice. They were, time consuming to install, but not nearly as much as building out raised beds. So let me just start down here at this one. And we have planted pumpkins in this bed, which I am obsessed with planting pumpkins because it's just a really satisfying little plant to grow. And we have this one pumpkin coming in beautifully right now, and he's just starting to turn colors. And you can see we have a few more popping up here and there. So we planted these in, I don't know, middle of June. There's another one right there. And typically our rotation with pumpkins is we rotate it with our garlic bed, because garlic here we will plant in late fall, early winter, like November. I guess that's still fall, November timeline, which stays in the ground, so in the bed until about June. So it's kind of the perfect time to transition to pumpkins, because if you plant pumpkins too early, you're getting pumpkins in August, and I want pumpkins in September and October. So these are doing really, really well. It's kind of awesome that we have so much space right now, because these pumpkins can really just kind of spread out. I have a few different varieties. I am pretty sure that's the Cinderella pumpkin. This one is a different variety. You can tell by the leaf right in there. So I think that, I honestly can't remember it. I planted 3 different varieties in here. I think one of them is kind of a standard like carving pumpkin, which is probably what that one is. Yeah, do you see this pumpkin? Do you see this pumpkin? What do you think about that pumpkin? I know it's bright right now, huh? What else? So, and we're out here in the morning, so it's kind of nice. You guys get to see all of these beautiful squash flowers or pumpkin flowers, nice and open. There's a carpenter bee hanging out with us this morning, buzzing around. And then I just plopped in a few zinnias and some sunflowers into this bed, which has turned out to be really quite nice. Nice way I like to intermix. Oh, there's that carpenter bee, if you can see him down there. Intermix flowers in there. I feel like it just helps encourage those pollinators. Oh yeah, there's another one. There's a couple. To come and pollinate all of my pumpkins. All right, and then our next few beds, we kind of intermixed a few different things too. These are all mostly Determinate tomatoes, which I just went through and did a pretty good harvest a few days ago. And we planted this bed in pretty thick, if you can't tell. And truly, we did kind of a poor job pruning early on as a lot of these tomatoes started to grow. So they're just a little wild and not trellised super well. So a few of them are kind of sprawling, but it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. We have some marigolds in here. It's a really good companion plant with tomatoes. And basil. This basil's kind of starting to grow a little wild. It's crazy. It was like planted right in the center of this bed, so it's really come up all the way, which is kind of funny. So yeah, and then along this arch, we put right here are our Indeterminate tomatoes. They get quite a bit taller than the Determinate ones. The Determinate ones we just did a stake method this year. What do you got for me? Oh, a green tomato. Thank you. Wow. But next time we just keep the green ones on the plant. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We eat it.
You could try to eat it, but it's not going to taste good.
Mommy, she's scared.
I don't want to eat this one. It's not ripe. Do you want to put it back?
Mommy, she knows.
I didn't. Here, how about you put it in your pocket for now? There we go. Just leave it right there. Okay, so here on the arch, let me see if I can remember what we planted. Does anyone else have that problem? Because I do. So I know we planted, these look like green zebras, I believe, over here. I think we did 3 different kinds, like 1, 2, 3. And then over here we have a mirror image of those 3. So we have, here's a green zebra that's turning a little bit more ripe. I love green zebras. They stay pretty green, but they start to turn kind of yellow when they ripen. And these are actually it's a really good sized one. So we have green zebra. We had some Berkeley tie-dyes in here. This is still more green zebra. Berkeley tie-dye, green zebra, and black crim. The black crim didn't do so well. Truthfully, we didn't buy any new seeds this year. We just kind of used up what we had, and a lot of our seeds have been, I don't know, in the last like 5 years. So a lot of them were getting kind of old, and I think that's why some of our seeds were a little slower to grow. Some of them just didn't work out or kind of diseased and died early on, and I think that was the black crim, unfortunately, which was, because that's one of our favorites. But all right, moving on, we have more Determinate tomatoes in here. I'm gonna have to look up or ask Lucas what he planted for these, because I honestly don't remember. And again, we were kind of just using what seeds we had. So we'll see if we can remember. But, you know, some of them are coming in pretty nicely, especially in this bed, more so than that other bed. What are you doing? Are you climbing in the bed? Yeah, you see the red ones? So I'll need to get in here and harvest a few more of these, and we can make some yummy sauce. Yeah, here, pick the red one. You pick the red one? Oh, good job. Thank you. Okay, put it in your pocket. Does it fit? There we go. Yeah. This right in front of us is a type of Celosia, which I kind of thought it was going to bloom by now, but it just so far has really cool foliage. And it's gotten honestly gigantic, which was way bigger than I anticipated, but yeah, it looks kind of cool. No flowers. And then in here, this is one of my favorites too. This is called Gomphrena, and it just kind of creates these cute little balls, which look awesome in a cut flower bouquet. And then of course we intermixed basil into this bed as well. More basil and some more of these big giant marigolds, which I just think are super fun when they get extra tall. That's a good one.
Mommy.
So a lot of our tomatoes this year too have been ripening on the bottom. Like this one's definitely ripe and ready, but the tops are pretty green still and hard. We've still been eating them and just chopping off, you know, the green part. I don't know what the reasoning for that is. If anyone has an idea, I haven't really had time to research it, to look it up, but shoot me a comment and let me know if you're having a similar issue, or if you have any ideas what's going on there. All right, and then moving on to the next bed, we have a couple more tomatoes. We like tomatoes, who doesn't? More basil. And here we have, along this arch, one of our Sungolds tomatoes, which are quite tasty. So we have Sungolds, some San Marzanos, and then our Tomatillos, which have grown a little bit wild. Some of these are ready to harvest, like this one. You can tell when they get full. So yeah, we could start making some salsa here with some of these Tomatillos. And then looks like some of these, I'm assuming it's just like sun scald because there's no protection on this side of the bed, and that's all west facing, so this gets like the really heat of the day sun. I should probably put up some shade cloth for those guys. And then back here we have a couple sad peppers. Has not been a good pepper year for us. Look at this thing. And yeah, a few little jalapenos on there. And then this Costada Squash has been quite prolific actually. Look how big this thing is. Oh my gosh, and look at all of these little squashes down here. Oh, you can just, I don't know if you guys can see all the white flies flying about too. That's cool. But yeah, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little Costada squashes. I really like these squash because they tend to hold up better than your standard zucchini. They're a little bit firmer, and I feel like you can saute them a little bit longer without them getting mushy, and they taste good. So yeah, we have those going on in this bed. A couple more, yeah, let's see, I got these from somewhere. Yeah, a little snacking bell. So we'll see if we get a few of those, it looks like. Did you get another tomato? Or is that the same one, I hope?
White.
Wipe?
White.
Is it red?
White.
It's not white, it's red.
It's green.
Well, the top is green, yes. Thank you. Okay, before I get to the last couple beds in our giant arch trellis, let me show you kind of what we did with this front area, and I'm so excited about it, to be honest. If you guys remember, I haven't done a ton of updates, but when we bought this house, this had like a rock border all the way around, and it had, you know, some roses, I think, in here, but they were old, and you can actually see one right here that's trying to survive. Isn't that so funny? Anyways, we pulled out all of the rock, which was a labor of love, and kind of designed this border here. Eventually, I want to differentiate this part with some like small pea gravel. I think would be better on foot, but for now we just had like one of those chip drops we had to just keep the weeds down for now until we kind of finish everything out. But in here we put down just a different mulch. It kind of looks the same, to be honest, but it costs more money. It was not free. And planted in a whole bunch of different perennials that I'm pretty jazzed about. We have a lantana up here that is just loving its life, and it's kind of a cute little shape. I have some dahlias that I started from seeds that are a little I don't know, kind of wild looking, but the flowers are beautiful. We have some cone flowers. This is a cute little white one. We have echinacea right here, this purple one. Another lantana up there. We have a couple artichokes I planted. This one, and there's another one in here somewhere. And then one of my favorite flowers is this Indian summer rudbeckia. That is just, I think, really pretty. I also planted in some herbs up in this bed. We have lavender right over here. We have thyme right here. Can I have another one? Oh, thank you. Keeper of snacks. Over here, I also have a tricolor sage and oregano. And then back in here, just a few other different perennials, kind of a lot of the same. Back here, I planted a roselle hibiscus, which I'm really excited about. It's kind of an edible, they create kind of an edible flower. And then I did plant another one of my favorite roses, which is the Sweet Mademoiselle hybrid tea rose. So that's kind of right here in the center. And then just a few other things. I have foxglove, I have Mexican sage, some more echinacea, planted salvia kind of all over the yard because it's such a great pollinator friendly plant and stands up really nicely in the heat. And then lastly, just another dahlia over here on this end. All right, and then the last couple beds I'll talk about is, well, there's three, but this one's actually quite sad because we planted corn that did not germinate. But these two beds are looking pretty cool. I got some sunflowers that are a little late to the party, but will hopefully be blooming just in time for fall. I think this is a form of Queen Anne's lace. I can't remember the exact variety I started from seed, but it's really pretty. Of course, some zinnia. Some more of the Gomphrena. And then I've deemed this year the year of the cucumber because that has completely taken over our big arch trellis. It's quite crazy. I have pruned the heck out of this thing like every other week. Oh my gosh, look at that giant one up there. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to get that one today. Compared to like that one is like a nice normal size. Oh, and then way up there, that's a center cut squash. If you guys have been around, you guys remember, I don't know, 3 years ago when it was the year of the center cut squash. Yeah, that was wild too. It's not that this year. We planted the last of the center cut seeds and it's been a slow grower, which I'm not complaining about, but these Armenian cucumbers have grown buck wild. We've already made 2 rounds of pickles. I eat cucumbers nearly every day. Thankfully, I really like and enjoy cucumbers, but man, it's a lot. I feel like there's at least a dozen cucumbers up here that are ready to harvest, and I swear, not even a week ago, I harvested about a dozen of them. And it's like you like to ignore them a little bit, but then they get so big. Like they've even kind of come out into this bed. In this bed, we planted a few cantaloupes. I harvested one yesterday, and I think there's just one left right here. You can see this little guy. It's not quite ready yet, but probably pretty soon. Are any of you guys growing Armenians? If you're growing in Sacramento or another hot climate and struggle with cucumbers, these Armenians are great because they don't get bitter. We tried to grow standard cucumbers. I don't know what the variety is, but the basic generic ones you get at the grocery store here. And the first year they were so bitter, and we're like, what the heck? So we did some research, and these are the ones to grow. And this year apparently has just been the perfect climate for all of these cucumbers. So that's pretty much it for the garden tour. I'll talk a little bit about what we hope to do or plan to do. And one of the big things on our hopeful to-do list this winter is going to be, you can see my stub up here, is actually putting in a garden fence that surrounds the front yard garden, and then planting more perennials to kind of mirror what we got going on near the front door all the way around the front, which will be cool. And I think just kind of a nice both curb appeal, but also give me some peace of mind when Nora's out in the front yard or Liberty, our dog, is out here. We don't have to keep such a close eye on all of that. So that's kind of the quickest update, I guess. It's not super quick, but I hope you enjoyed watching and seeing what we got going on in our garden. Would love to start a conversation with you down in the comment section. So just say hi, let me know if you're new here or if you've been around for a long time. I'd love to start that conversation and hopefully see you guys very soon. Thanks.